Welcome back, everybody, to the CAS Aviation Deep Dive.
Our 13th one.
Number 13. That's right. And today we've got some interesting stories for you
Absolutely.
about everything that's happening in the aviation world this week.
Yeah, from route changes.
To big aircraft orders and even an interesting new safety measure
Yeah.
that's got people talking.
They're sure.
So let's dive in.
Let's do it.
All right, so first up, Air India.
Okay.
They're suspending their Mumbai-Melbourne route starting late March.
Right?
And it's not coming back until mid-September 2025.
Wow, that's a long time.
That is a while. Yeah. What's going on there?
Well, it seems like it's a combination of factors.
Okay.
So Air India is currently undergoing a pretty big transformation.
Right.
They're trying to optimize their fleet and prioritize, the routes that are bringing in more money.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, they're looking at routes to Europe and the USA as more profitable.
Okay.
At least right now.
Yeah.
And you also have to consider the competition.
Right.
So you've got Qantas already flying between Melbourne and Delhi. And Singapore Airlines is a really big player on that Australia-India route.
Where there are stopovers.
Exactly, with those popular stopovers in Singapore.
Right. So it's like Air India is taking a little bit of a break to kind of reorganize and then
refocus.
Yeah.
Come back strong, hopefully.
Exactly. And, with this transformation that they're going through,
Right.
they've got the new logo, livery, they're refurbishing the cabins.
Yeah.
When they do come back,
Yeah.
they might just have that edge to, get passengers back.
Right. Snag those passengers back. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, switching gears a little bit.
Okay.
Jetstar.
Right.
They're making headlines with these plans to do nonstop flights
Wow.
between Australia and India starting in 2026.
Big move.
It is a big move, and they are pulling out all the stops.
Oh, really? They're getting those new Boeing 787 Dreamliners.
Nice.
With those new business class seats, in-flight Wi-Fi.
Of course.
And get this, crew bunks.
Crew bunks.
Crew bunks.
That's interesting.
So they can sleep on those really long flights.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, those crew bunks are really important.
Right.
Especially for these ultra long-haul flights. Because the crew needs to be rested.
Of course. Yeah.
So they can fly to these destinations like India directly.
Right. Without having to
Without those layovers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I wonder what cities they're going to target in India.
That's a good question.
And how their fares are going to compare.
Right, because, Jetstar is known for being pretty budget-friendly.
Right. They're low cost, so.
Yeah, so they can really shake things up, for those travelers who are looking for a good deal.
Especially people who maybe haven't been able to go to India that far because it's been so expensive.
Yeah, or just a big hassle.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's move on to a story that's maybe a little bit less glamorous. We've got a Scoot flight that was going to Changsha, China, but it had to make an emergency landing in Vietnam because of a technical fault.
Yikes.
And the passengers were stranded overnight.
Oh, wow.
Sleeping on airport benches.
Not ideal.
No, not ideal.
So what happened?
Well, it sounds like there were some immigration regulations that made things tricky.
Right.
Because some of the passengers weren't able to leave the airport.
Oh, why not?
Well, because they didn't have visas.
Oh, I see.
For Vietnam.
Right.
It really just shows you that even when you think you've got everything planned, travel can just throw you a curveball.
Absolutely.
But even with all the chaos and the, discomfort, the crew really did a great job.
Yeah, they did.
Of handling the situation and making sure everyone was safe.
Right. A safe landing is always the priority.
Exactly. Even if it's not planned.
Exactly.
All right. Well, shifting gears again.
Right.
Let's talk about a new airline that's making some really big moves.
Oh, really? Who's that?
It's Riyadh Air.
Riyadh Air.
The new Saudi Arabian airline. And they're reportedly looking at ordering up to 50 wide-body aircraft.
50? That's a lot.
That's a big order, especially for an airline that hasn't even started flying yet.
Yeah, they haven't even taken off yet, and they're already making headlines.
They are.
So what kind of planes are they looking at?
Well, it could be either the Airbus A350-1000s or the Boeing 777Xs.
Those are some serious planes.
They are.
So this would be on top of their other orders?
It would be their third big aircraft purchase.
Yeah. Wow, so they've already got some planes on order.
They've got 39 Boeing 787-9 Dreamliners and 60 Airbus A321neo aircraft.
So they're serious about this.
They're going all in.
It sounds like it.
But they're still waiting for their air operator certificate, which is basically the license to operate And their launch is supposed to be in the third quarter of 2025.
Okay, so that's not too far away.
It's not that far away.
But still, they have a lot to do.
They've got a lot to do.
Setting up a whole airline from scratch is a huge undertaking.
It is.
You know, getting all the regulatory approvals in place, building the infrastructure.
Hiring and training all the staff.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to do in a short amount of time.
Yeah. Do you think they'll be able to pull it off?
It's going to be tight, but it'll be interesting to see
Definitely.
What happens.
For sure.
It seems like new airlines are popping up every day with these huge plans.
Yeah, it's a really competitive market.
It is. So, speaking of new airlines, Thai Airways is doing some interesting things to modernize their fleet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they signed a lease agreement for 8 Airbus A321neos, and that's on top of their existing order for 32 of the same type.
So 40 A321neos total?
That's right.
Wow, that's a lot of planes. What's the strategy there?
Well, they seem to be focusing on fleet renewal and really kind of shoring up their presence in those domestic and regional markets.
It makes sense.
And, you know, those A321neos, they're super fuel efficient.
Yeah.
And passengers love them.
They're comfortable.
So it's a good choice for those shorter routes.
Right.
And this also comes after they close down Thai Smile.
Oh, yeah, their regional subsidiary.
Right.
So are they basically absorbing Thai Smile into the main brand?
That seems to be the plan.
Interesting. So it's like a consolidation move?
Yeah, it looks like they're really trying to streamline their operations.
And probably strengthen their market position, too.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so for our last story today, we're going over to South Korea.
Right.
Where Air Busan has been dealing with some fallout.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that incident.
From that fire on one of their aircraft back in January.
Right, what's the latest?
Well, the police actually searched Air Busan's offices.
Oh, wow.
As part of an investigation.
To determine responsibility.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out who is responsible for the fire.
Right, and that's separate from the investigation into the cause of the fire itself.
Exactly. That's being handled by the Air Accident Investigation Committee. But here's the interesting part. Air Busan has implemented a new safety measure.
Oh, really? What is it?
They're banning portable chargers from overhead lockers.
Oh, wow.
So passengers have to keep them in their carry-on bags.
Under the seat?
Under the seat.
Interesting. So they're the first airline to do this?
As far as we know, yeah.
Huh. That could be a big deal, you know?
It could be, yeah.
Makes you wonder if other airlines will follow suit.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely.
If this becomes like the new industry standard.
Right, because this incident really brought to light,
you
know, the potential dangers of having those portable chargers in the overhead bins.
And it just reminds us that aviation safety is constantly evolving.
Absolutely. It's an ongoing process.
We're always learning and trying to improve.
Right. And airlines are always looking for ways to make things safer.
For everyone.
For passengers and crew.
Exactly. All right. Well, that brings us to a bigger trend that we've been seeing in the industry. And that's the push towards these really long flights.
Yeah, ultra long haul.
Ultra long haul we were just talking about. Jetstar's crew bunks.
Right, so they can get some rest on those marathon flights.
Exactly. But what about the passengers?
Yeah, how are they supposed to survive those flights?
What are airlines doing to make those flights more comfortable?
Right, because nobody wants to be miserable.
Like 16 hours.
Exactly.
So what are they doing?
So much cool stuff happening right now with technology and travel.
It really is a fascinating time for aviation.
I know. It's like, what can passengers, expect?
Well, I think, you can look forward to air travel that's not just faster and easier.
Right.
But also more personalized.
And
environmentally friendly.
So no more, long lines.
Hopefully not.
And those tiny seats.
I know, right? Things are changing.
Yeah. We're seeing more biometric identification at airports.
Right.
More automated check-in kiosks, to speed things up.
Mm-hmm.
And in-flight entertainment systems are getting more personalized, too.
Right.
And we talked about those live flat seats and even in-flight gyms.
It sounds like the future.
It's getting pretty fancy.
It is. And it sounds like airlines are really taking passenger comfort seriously.
Oh, yeah. They're really stepping up their game.
But it's not just about comfort, right?
Right.
It's about sustainability, too.
Absolutely.
So those eco-friendly fuels and electric planes.
That's all happening.
I mean, will we ever be able to, across the ocean in an electric plane?
It's a possibility.
Wow.
But it's still a ways off.
Okay.
But I think, for those shorter trips, like commuter flights, air taxis,
right,
cargo delivery.
Electric planes are already making a difference.
They really are. It's pretty amazing.
Well, we talked about Air Busan's decision to ban those portable chargers.
Oh, yeah, that was interesting.
From the overhead bins.
It really makes you think about how airlines can be proactive about safety.
Right, because it just takes one incident to kind of spark a whole industry discussion.
And potentially change the way things are done.
It's like aviation safety is never really finished.
It's always evolving.
Right, always trying to improve.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From Air India changing their routes to Jetstar expanding into India. Riyadh Air's big ambitions.
It's exciting.
Thai Airways modernizing their fleet, and of course Air Busan's new safety measure.
So much going on.
It's a really dynamic time for the industry.
It is, for sure.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners?
Well, I think the big thing is that aviation is changing.
Okay.
And it's changing fast.
Driven by technology?
Yeah.
By the market? And by this growing focus on being environmentally responsible.
And for passengers, it means that flying is going to be
hopefully
more efficient, more comfortable,
more personalized,
and more sustainable.
And most importantly,
safer.
Airlines are constantly working to make flying as safe as possible.
Right. Well, that about wraps it up for this edition of the CAS Aviation Deep Dive.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time.